Hello viewers, today I'm going to show you how to input data in one worksheet and get the output in another worksheet. So in this workbook, which by default is book 1, we have two worksheets. One is called input worksheet and another is called output worksheet. In the input worksheet, we'll have employee ID and their basic salaries. For example, in our company, we have only 5 employees, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is just for a demonstration purpose. And their corresponding basic salaries are tabulated in column B. Now, on the basis of these basic salaries for each employee ID, we want to get their house rent allowance, which is 50% of the basic salary, medical allowance 10%, mobile bill 1%, provident fund deduction 10%, and we want to calculate the gross pay and net pay of each of the employees in the output sheet. So in order to do it, what we'll do is we'll go to the output worksheet, okay, and here we'll get the employee IDs from input worksheet. So we'll start with equal sign in cell A2 and go to input sheet and click on the A2 cell of the employee ID column, right? So that is the formula in output worksheet equal to the value from A2 cell of input worksheet. Okay, that is the syntax, and that generates automatically. So now press enter and you'll see the employee ID has been transferred from input sheet to the output sheet. Now if you drag down this formula, you'll see it has transferred the employee IDs from input worksheet column A to output worksheet column A 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and beyond employee ID 5 it has put some numbers, 0 numbers. You don't want that. So how to get rid of these 0 numbers? We'll have to modify our program a little bit. So I'm going to put an if statement so that we can get rid of those zeros of the non-blank cells, sorry, blank cells. So I'm going to write if this cell is blank, okay, double quote means blank, then you put blank in output worksheet, and if it is not blank, then it will carry the value of the input worksheet. Okay, and there you go. Now if you drag this formula down to the anywhere, okay, say 100, you have only 5 employees, but you can extend your formula to 100th row, and now you see it has shown only the 5 employee IDs, and beyond 5 employee IDs there is no other employee in the input sheet, so it has not transferred anything to output sheet because of this if function that we have used. That if in the input worksheet the cell is blank, then you write blank here in the output worksheet, and if it is not blank, then you write the value from input worksheet here, and that exactly has been done here. And the basic salary, for the basic salary as well, we'll have to do the same thing. If this is not, if this is blank, then write blank, and if not, then transfer this value to the output worksheet. Okay, and copy it down to the 100th row. Similarly, although we have only 5 employees, but we have copied the formula down to the 100th row in case you add more data in the input worksheet. Okay, that is fine. These were your input data. Now on the basis of this input data, you want to calculate the house rent allowance here, right? So you can do it like this. You can click on this cell and times 50%, that is 50 divided by 100. You can do it like this. Okay, this is one way of doing it, and also you can link it with the inputs worksheet as well. But there is no need because we have already transferred the basic salary data to the output worksheet. And also here you will need if function. If this cell is blank, then put blank, otherwise do this calculation. Okay, so now if you drag this formula down to again to the 100th row, although you have only 5 worksheets, 5 employees, so beyond 5 employees it is not showing anything at the moment. But if you go back to the input sheet again and put ID of another employee and his or her basic salary, for example 62,000 taka, you'll see that will be automatically updated here. Okay, that is the beauty of Microsoft Excel. And for medical allowance, now you can do it very simple. Let me copy this formula again. Let me copy this formula there. Okay, and we'll have to make a little bit correction here because that will be 10% of basic salary, so that has to be B2 and 10%. Okay, see, it's very simple. Working with Microsoft Excel is very simple. All you need to know is what you are going to do and what you are going to achieve, and of course you'll have to know certain syntaxes so that you can achieve your goals. So that is the 10% of the basic salary. Similarly, you can copy it down there. Okay, and you see every time you copy to the next cell, the cell address is changing. It was connected to basic salary column, so it was B2, but when you drag it to or copy it to the next cell, it is converting to C2. You don't want to do that. So what you can do is, in order to stop it, you can you want to log the column, okay, and keep the row free. So I'm going to write it like this. I'm going to put $sign and locking the column. B is the column and 2 is the row. So I'm keeping the rows free and locking the columns. Okay. And now if you copy this in the previous column, that is in the medical allowance column, up to row number 100. Where is 100? Yep. Okay. Go back. You're still getting the medical allowance as 10%. That is fine. There is no error. But now if you copy this to the next cell, to the E2 cell, let's see what happens. So now it has done it. There is no change of B. Okay. Earlier, when you were copying this formula to the E2 cell, it was being converted to C2. But now you have locked the column, that is column B, and that is why the column B or the B has not changed. It has not changed to C2. That is fine, and that is what you want. Instead of 10%, now you want to get only 1%. That is your mobile phone bill paid by the company. Now you drag this formula down to the row number 100 again, and your mobile phone bills paid by the company for all the 6 employees have been updated in column E. For Provident Fund, the employees deduct 10% of their basic salary. So that is a deduction, and we want to copy it now. Piece of cake. The basic salary is still there, fine, and that will be 10%. That will be deduction from the from the salary. Copy it down to the row number 100. Go back. Okay. So now in order to get the gross pay, for the gross pay, you'll have to get sum of what? some of the basic salary, house rent, medical allowance, and mobile phone bills. All these uh, will be added up. So that is your gross pay. Now again, there is a problem. It is giving the zero values because you have not put that condition. So we'll have to do it again. So we'll put if function. If this is blank, then put blank, else do the or put the sum values. Right. Now copy. There you go. Okay. So this is your gross pay. This plus this plus this plus this will give your gross pay. Now what will be your net pay? So net pay will be the gross pay minus the provident fund. That is your gross pay. Now if you copy it again, there is a problem of so I'll put if function again. If this is blank, that means if there is no employee ID, put blank in this cell. If not, do this or find the net pay value and put it in this cell. Okay, that's it. Very simple logic. There you go. So that makes your job complete. You have employee IDs which have been extracted from the input sheet. Okay, and in order to get rid of those zeros or the blank cells, we have put or we have used if function here, you can see. And the basic salary also similarly we have extracted from the input worksheet, and house rent allowance, medical allowance, mobile phone, provident fund, gross pay and net pay, all these have been calculated in this worksheet. So once you prepare a salary sheet or whatever you want to say or call it, you can just do it once and forget about it for the rest of your life. Every time you input new employee ID here and their corresponding basic salary there, as long as company policy doesn't change, it will automatically prepare this gross pay and net pay for you. Thanks very much. Thanks for watching this.